Are raids too easy? Raids are the best way to get the most OP item in Minecraft, the Totem of Undying, which basically gives you immortality. But with such overpowered drops, are raids balanced? You see, I would argue that in good game design, high risk should give high reward, but I want to find out if fighting a raid is really that high of a risk, or if it's just an easy way to get way OP. So what better way to put that to the test than in my highest risk situation possible in my Surviving 100 Days in Hardcore series, where if I die, it's game over, no respawning. For those who have been following this series may notice that I'm a few days ahead of where I last ended my last episode, and let me tell you why. You see, I went to go fight a pillager outpost so I can get the ominous potions. However, I adjusted some of my recording settings without testing, and my footage was awful. So I decided just to omit that completely from this episode so I don't give anybody a headache. But anyway, the plan for this episode is quite simple. I have 3 ominous bottles, so I want to take on 3 raids to really see if they're that difficult to deal with. And why, you might ask, I want to take on raids? It's for those Totems of Undying, because remember, one of the goals in this hardcore series is to take on the hardest boss in all of Minecraft, the Bedrock Wither. And I'm going to need as many Totems of Undying as possible, because that thing will kick my butt. But before we get to the raids, I have just a tiny little bit of preparation, so let's get to that. First, I crafted a few golden apples. I think they might come in handy in this raid. Second, I need to replace my helmet, so I traded with my armor, a little bit of the iron, so I can get a new helmet, which broke when I was going after the pillager outpost. Next, I figured it'd be a good idea to upgrade my sword, removing smite, and then adding the sharpness 4 book, which I found in the stronghold. With investing more into my sword, I decided to trade for a mending book because the durability is quite low on my sword. So I figured it'd be a good idea to make sure to keep it around. So going ahead, trading for that mending book, and then putting it on the sword using the anvil. And with the preparation out of the way, we're ready to take on the first of the 3 raids. So here we go. And as we take on this first raid, I want to go through my thought process of my strategy to take on these raids. Back when I used to play Call of Duty, I was probably the most annoying player ever. A lot of people call me a rat because I would camp with a sniper so I didn't get hit as easily. And you know, that's kind of the strategy I have for this raid. However, since it's PvE, I figure it's a little bit better of a strategy overall. And the NPC mobs here, they're not going to get mad like actual PvP players would. Overall, this strategy is working pretty well. The one downside is that I have mending on my bow instead of infinity, so I risk running out of arrows, especially taking these far shots that sometimes miss. But overall, it's a really good way to avoid as much risk as possible, especially in a hardcore world where if I die, it is game over. But most of these mobs, they get killed in 2 shots with my power 4 bow, which is really nice. The Ravagers, however, take quite a bit more arrows. I think it takes about 6 shots to take down a Ravager with my power 4 bow. But again, just keeping them at a distance and being kind of that rat-like sniper is a really good way to avoid most, if not all, the risk during these raids. And sometimes having to get a little bit closer. But so far, only taking a couple hits overall. And as the waves got a little bit more intense with more mobs spawning, I had to take a few hits here and there. But most often, the crossbows would only deal half a heart. So it really wasn't that terrible to deal with. And this strategy works really well for the pillagers, keeping them at a distance so they can't shoot you with your crossbow. It works really well with the witches as well. Taking them out before they can throw any potions at me is really, really easy. And with 2 mobs remaining in this round, I ran into a little bit of a snag. You see, these last 2 witches were kind of doing the strategy I was doing. They were camping in buildings. All right, where is the other one at? Are you over in another building? Where are you? Where are you at? I can hear you, but I cannot find you at all. Where are you?
One eternity later.
All right, chat. I spent probably about 45 minutes trying to find this guy. And what the heck are you doing spawning in the most impossible place to find? So overall, my strategy has been working really well, keeping my distance. However, sometimes it got a little bit hairy as I wasn't keeping perfect distance, so I had to run away from Ravengers. But luckily they're not that smart, and as I can just get some high ground, then it still makes it really, really low risk overall. So pillaring up with some dirt and hopping over to a building, and I can take out this Ravenger with ease from a distance. And let's see, 1, 2, 3 shots there. I guess I hit it a couple times before. But it's pretty easy just to get some high ground and kind of be a rat and to take out these hostile mobs from a distance. And as long as I'm not taking any unnecessary risks, overall, this raid has been pretty straightforward. I'm doing pretty good on arrows so far. I think I have a couple stacks left, but that's the only thing I'm nervous about, is running out of arrows. Even tackling the evokers and the vindicators from a distance, it's even better. And I really wanted to focus on the evokers, avoiding any Vex or any of the other long-range spells that could hit me to cause me damage that potentially could kill me. And even being distracted by my nemesis, a Trident Drowned, I was still able to get my first Totem of Undying with relative ease. Although, they have been using the sugarcane kind of as camo, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not too bad. And as the rounds get a little bit more intense, I got hit here or there now and again, but nothing too crazy. My diamond armor holds up pretty well, prevents a lot of the damage, and just trying to avoid, especially the evokers, spawning any Vex. But overall, once you start to get hit a little bit, do a little bit of kiting, jump back a little bit, make it so the mobs, especially the hard-hitting Vindicators and Evokers, have a hard time hitting you without being killed. And this pillager using the sugarcane as camo, it's a pretty good strategy by them, but not good enough. The other benefit that I have is the Wandering Trader is distracting the mobs so they don't focus on me. And we all know who wants the Wandering Trader around. Maybe that's one of the benefits of them. And as I jump down to get my second Totem of Undying from the raid, I'm prepared to take on the last mob here for the round, which is the first one I really got up and personal with a sword. My strategy of staying back, avoiding any unnecessary risk, and kind of being a little sniper camper shines really, really well on the final waves that are a lot harder when we've got multiple Ravengers, multiple Evokers, Evokers on Ravengers, many, many Vindicators and Witches to heal the raiders. It makes it so much easier just to avoid any potential damage, just taking pot shots from a distance. I think this might be one of the best strategies for a raid overall, besides maybe making a raid farm, because then you just kill them with trident killers and you don't have to take any damage at all. But my thoughts overall on the initial question in this video, are raids too easy? So far, I think they are a little too easy. Are they balanced? I'm not sure. I'm going to wait until I do a few more just to see how many Totems of Undying that I get before I make a conclusion on whether I can call raids balanced currently in 1.21. And with one mob remaining for this raid, I realized that the Vindicators hit a lot harder. One raid down, 2 to go, and I've got something special cooking for you on this one, so I hope you enjoy.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
So are raids too easy? Yes. Yes, they are. In my opinion, raids are too easy. However, I want to put a caveat on that. As long as you are prepared. See, when I was prepared with plenty of arrows and a really good bow, it was a piece of cake. However, when I ran out of arrows at the end, and you can see in that montage, I had to fight Ravengers and Vex with a sword, which is not necessarily the best way to do it, and it caused me to pop a totem at the very, very end of the last raid. But, I mean, that kind of proves the point that Totems of Undying are super OP. Through those 3 raids, I got a total of 13 Totems of Undying. So essentially, it takes my hardcore world and it makes it so I have 1 life, and now I have 13 extra lives before I actually die and have game over. And would I call that balanced? Not perfectly balanced, but I wouldn't change anything. I think in 1.21, especially with the ominous potions, to take away the AFK raid farms, it makes it a lot more balanced. But anyway, with all these Totems of Undying, all I need is to get myself some Wither Skulls, and then I'm ready to take on the Wither. So if you enjoyed this content and want to see more, subscribe so you can watch me take on the Wither in the next episode. If you made it to the end of this video, you are a legend, and I appreciate you so, so much. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.